Hey everyone. Happy Wednesday. It was 18 degrees here in New York City this morning, which is considerably warmer than it has been. And by considerably, I mean like 10 or 15 degrees. It was like 1 the other day in Connecticut. So it's kind of cold here. We are waiting for snow to happen. And I'm hoping that we only get the original 1 to 3 inches instead of the updated version 3 to 6 inches because I hate trudging to school in the snow. That's the truth. So if you watched my video yesterday, you would know that I talked about 2017 and a little bit of a recap, and then I was going to introduce you to my word for 2018. And I chose the word change for my word for 2018. I'm going to tell you why. Because I think a lot of us are afraid of that word and are afraid of what happens when change happens. And I want to kind of break that stigma. I want to break the idea that change is bad because I'm a believer that change is good, no matter what the change is. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. So here's why I chose change. Stay warm, BJ Stevens. I know it's pretty damn cold where you are. 2017 for me was a year of change, and it's not the first year. I posted in my Facebook group this morning that I've been facing change in my business since I basically started, because when you start a business, that's not a typical business model. It's not a franchise. It's not, as an associate of a social media marketing company. It's not, a real estate company or something that has already been established. When you are trying to do something that not a whole lot of, life coaching is not an established franchise. We all do it differently. Business coaching is not an established franchise. Every business coach does something different, right? So there's not a blueprint for creating a business model, really, when you are in the service industry. And by service industry, I mean like people service, not like restaurant service and that kind of stuff. So when I started my business, I didn't have somebody to look forward to say, okay, this is how I should plan my business out. This is how I should do it. And now I had been running businesses for large corporations for a long time. So I knew that revenue was important, and I knew that clients were important, and I knew that kind of stuff was important. But what I didn't know was how to get the message that I wanted to get out and how it was going to evolve. And I was actually on the phone with a client this morning talking about this with her because she had said that she was feeling like 2017 for her wasn't what she was expecting it to be, and that kind of thing. And she felt like she needed permission to validate her feelings. And I said to her, who do you need permission from? It's your business. It's your company. It's your everything. There's no investor. Like you're doing this solely on your own. You don't need permission to do anything. You are the person who you need permission from. And she was afraid to take that leap to create that change. And I had her say it out loud on several different occasions throughout our conversation because sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow. And I said, change is not a bad thing. You tried something, you didn't love how it felt, and you want to go in a different direction. So change that and embrace it. You learned something. Every failure for me is a learning experience. So I don't consider it a failure. Like, what did you learn from that? And what are you taking away from that you can incorporate into the next direction for your business, the next direction for your life, the next relationship that you cultivate because you didn't like what was happening over here, or you didn't, want to, it didn't feel good for you. And I said to her, I was like, when I started coaching, I thought I was going to be a parenting coach. And that's what I thought I was going to be. I was going to tell people and work with people who needed help with their parenting. And when I started that, what I realized was a lot of people don't necessarily need help with their parenting. they need help with their relationships that lead up to the parenting. And they need help with their relationships of themselves and with themselves. And so that evolved into a more traditional transformational coaching practice that isn't just about parenting. I coach people on parenting, sure, all the time. But now my clients are business women. They are women who are wanting to fail forward, Christina. That's exactly right. They're wanting to create change in their lives so they can start business or they can have side hustles or they can not feel like they are trapped in this life that they have created for themselves because they thought it was the right way to go, right? So that's why I started Inspiring Transformation last year. That's why I created the course that I created. That's why I'm continuing to create speaking around empowering women and empowering ourselves and empowering our children and our partners and our spouses, because I feel so strongly about creating change. And I feel so strongly that change is such a good thing and it's such a positive thing and it can be a nurturing thing if we approach it with the right mindset and the right attitude. So, it's not because we've all failed at something and it's not because we've all, didn't like, it's because as human beings, we are constantly changing and evolving. And there has been stigma placed on failure or failing forward or failing backward even, that make us feel like we can't do something. And so, I was talking to my client this morning, I said to her, taking a new direction is not failing. It's changing the course. And changing the course is okay. If I didn't change my course, a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have written a book. I wouldn't have, created this, what I'm creating now. I wouldn't have Why Am I Yelling Live with my guest hosts and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't have those things because I would have still been with my blinders on, not realizing that there's so much more out there that can help us be successful by just implementing tweaks and changes, small changes. It doesn't have to be like a huge, you don't have to, jump out the window and dye your hair blue and lose 500 pounds. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about taking a good hard look at what our life or what your life you want it to look like and figuring out what feels good to you and what makes you happy. That was my first question to my clients. I had 2 clients this morning. What makes you happy? When we talk about your business and you're telling me, these are the things that I thought about in 2017 that I want to evaluate or change or whatever, how does that make you feel? What makes you happy? The only thing that you need to know about yourself and about, your direction is that you're doing it because it feels good to you and it feels like the right thing to do. I have literally stopped doing projects and collaborations with people, sometimes in the middle of it, in the middle of planning it, because it didn't feel like the right thing to do. And I'm at a point in my life where, while it might have been good for my pocketbook and had I just gone through with it, it didn't make sense to me, integrity wise or with the message that I'm sending with my business. And that's another thing, like when you're collaborating with other people, you have to have the message for yourself personally and the message for whatever it is that you're doing together. And I think a lot of us lose sight of that because, we see stars or dollar signs or, opportunity around the mountain that we're trying to climb. And we try to want to get there a little bit faster. You're welcome, Christine. I'm so glad that I'm resonating with you today. But I'm here to tell you that that's not how it works. And you have to feel good about the decisions that you're making. And you have to find it in yourself to sometimes stand up to yourself. When I was having my conversation with my person this morning, I said to her, I was like, I feel like you are in a trapped pen and you are waiting to break free. Except there's nobody's going to save you because you have to save yourself. And nobody is judging you because you want to take your business in a different direction. And nobody is judging you because you have made a different decision for yourself. That's what life's about. It's about change. It's about creating change. It's about embracing change and understanding why these things happen. Sometimes it's unexpected. It could be losing a loved one. It could be losing a relationship. It could be losing a job that you didn't expect to lose. And a lot of times those can be debilitating changes for us. Sometimes you can't get out of bed. Sometimes you're like, why the fuck did this happen to me? All those things. And then when you actually sit down and realize that it's part of your life's course and you have to accept it and learn how to embrace it and learn how to appreciate what you've learned from those experiences, you'll understand the change better. 2017 was a year of a lot of changes for me. I mean, I lost my dad. I had a crazy lunatic business thing go. Like, I'm definitely going to write that book because that's a great story. But I learned a lot. I learned how, I'm really good at accepting change and turning it into an opportunity, or turning it into an understanding of why these things happen. And that has allowed me to be better for my clients, for my family, for my children, for my husband, because I get it. I understand that life is very different for each and every one of us, and there's not a blueprint for any of us. And we are navigating our own courses based on the decisions that we're making. And I want you guys to know that you have to feel good about those decisions. Don't just do something because you think it's the right thing to do. It has to feel like the right thing to do. And we've all done things that didn't feel like the right thing to do, but we've done them anyway. I know we all have. We're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. Even like when you're a little kid, you do that stuff. It doesn't feel good to jump off this rock at the lake, but I'm going to do it because all my friends are here and I see you, Billy Butler. But those are the things that you realize afterward. That's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So when you are facing change in your life and you're questioning and you're feeling like, it might not be the right thing, or you have to explore it a little further, there's a lot of different avenues you can take for it. I want you to sit on it for a minute, and I want you to think about it. And I want you to understand that even though the decision that you're about to make might seem like the wrong one, or might feel really good because it can go run the gamut, embrace it, because there's always going to be a learning lesson that comes out of it. You're always going to learn something from whatever experience you just had, whether it is having coffee with your friend in the morning, or quitting your job, or starting a new business, or standing up on stage for the first time and expressing your message of importance, because we all have a message inside of us. And it's just how we choose to release that and share it with the world. We all have a special gift. And, my gift is very different from yours, and yours, and yours, and yours, and yours. And by using that gift, you are helping other people change their lives. You don't realize it, but you are. So change is my word for 2017, and I am on a mission to change a lot of people's lives. I have just finished, teaching a course that I have absolutely loved. I'm working on trying to bring that to people all over the United States currently. I want to bring it to kids. I want them to understand the importance of empowerment and how they can empower themselves and empower each other, especially at the ages of where my oldest one is. He's 12 and he's in middle school, which is super sucky and super awesome all at the same time. And, teenagerdom and puberty and, all the physical and mental and emotional stuff that's going on in their bodies. I need for them to understand that that is perfectly normal, and it's all about change. And it's the way that they learn how to accept it and embrace it and communicate that to their peers and to their parents and with their teachers and their coaches and their mentors and all the other people that they interact with every single day. And if they have the right tools, we can make sure that we are helping to educate them along the way. So that's my other goal for 2017. I'm creating all these great things, not just for my clients and for the big people in my life. I want to do it for my little people too, because they're the next generation of big people. And we see, we experienced a lot of change this year, socially out there in the world, politically, environmentally, all the things. And I think 2017 really allowed women to step up and find their voices. And I want to continue that movement. I want us to find your voice and use it to incite the change that you think is important for your life and for the lives around you. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your kids or, the people that are important to you to remember you for? That's all like stuff that makes me think, because that's what 2017 was for me. It was a thinking year. And it was a big year of change for me. So I'm going into 2018 taking those lessons and those experiences, and I'm passing them along in, my speaking and my writing and my teaching and my coaching and the things that I'm putting together for my audience, so we can all move together forward and understand why creating change in our lives is so important. So that's my word for 2018. I was about to say 2017 because I don't know what year it is. It's 2018. And I hope that you guys love it and accept it and appreciate it. And I want to know what your words are. So in the comments, put your words. If you're not part of the Why Am I Yelling Facebook group or part of the Why Am I Yelling business page, this is also on there. So I post on there every day too. So join those conversations, because there's going to be a lot more of them happening more frequently now that I have committed to a January 31st deadline to get this book done. I just said it out loud. My editor's like, January 31st, we're going to be finished on January 31st. So that's exciting. And then after that, sky's the limit, people. I'm all about you and change. So I hope you guys are all having an awesome day where you are and staying warm, because I think the entire United States is freezing right now. Just crazy talk. And I am going to be living in scarves until it thaws in New York and Connecticut. And at least the sun is shining. So I hope you guys all have a great day. Let me know what your word is and why. And if you need any help creating change in your life, you know where to find me. I love you guys. Mwah. See you back here tomorrow. Have a good one.